It is time for Law or Not, where we have local legal experts help answer your questions about the law.
And we have just the friends to help us do that. We have Donnie and Ken from the Advocates Law Firm. Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. We're so happy to be back.
Wonderful. Okay, so we are excited to chat again. Let's dive right into these questions, all right? This first one, we've been talking about it all day. So it says, I work for an employment agency, and in the past 2 months, I've had 2 bounce checks from them. They always tell me payroll is working on the issue, but now I'm facing financial hardships, like I'm not able to pay my car. It's been more than a month since I've been paid. What can I do?
Oof. So, Ken and I happen to run a company, and the first bill we pay is payroll.
Yeah.
Right.
And especially an employment agency, you'd think they would know that it's important that their employees get paid. I worry that if you haven't gotten 2 paychecks, if 2 paychecks have bounced, that a third one is probably most likely going to bounce. It doesn't seem like it's a payroll department problem. It seems like it's a company revenue money problem. So, of course, talk to HR. It sounds like you've done that, but it's probably time to take some more serious matters.
What about, like, you know that phrase, if you can't pay me today, I can't show up tomorrow, something along those lines, that sentiment? Could you get fired for that if you said, well, you haven't paid me, I'm not coming to work tomorrow? Like,
yeah, you could certainly say that, and then they would threaten you with being fired, but technically you're working for free anyway, so
right.
Is it really that you're volunteering? I mean, at this point, yeah, as legally there's lots you can do. There's all kinds of laws that protect employees when the employers don't pay them. And on top of that, you've got a bounce check. And so you can just sue on the bounce check. But again, if they can't make their payroll, what are the chances they're going to be able to pay any outcome from a lawsuit? So, yeah, it's time to move on. Unless you really know there's a reason, but payroll working on it and you can't make your payments at home and it's been a month.
super frustrating.
You're not working anymore,
Right.
you're volunteering.
Ooh. Well, this next question, let's get into it. It says, I was recently on a job and had my arm crushed. Oh. Man, this is a tough day for people working. Nothing was broken, but I have tons of pain, mobility issues, and possible nerve damage. Everybody I know is telling me to get a lawyer, but I'm not sure what I'd be suing the company for, since nobody's really at fault. Should I contact a lawyer? What do you guys think?
Absolutely, you should. They should contact a lawyer. This is one of those circumstances where you shouldn't worry about who you would be going after or who you'd be making a claim or why. Let the lawyer worry about that. You worry about getting better and let the lawyers deal with all of the claims and all that kinds of stuff. I mean, it's an accident that happened on the job, so that you're for sure at least going to get your bills paid. The question is going to be by who and in what way. And it doesn't even matter how it happened. Like if you stuck your arm into a pizza dough maker, it might be your fault, but you could still get paid for that. And maybe it was the pizza dough manufacturer who was at fault.
Yeah, the question says it doesn't seem like anyone was at fault, but you got hurt. So maybe you weren't at fault, maybe something failed, a process failed, and so I think it's important to, of course, bring it up to the employer, find an attorney so that you can look into why did this happen, and hopefully the company can put some procedures in place to ensure that this doesn't happen again to a coworker or to a future employee as well.
That's great insight.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our last question now. It says, I became good friends and roommates with someone in college. Now we argue and we can't stand in the same room together. Tale as old as time. But we were stuck in the lease. So there is a buyout, but it says that we will be liable if the next person doesn't pay rent. Is there anything we can do to have a clean out?
Yikes, what a nightmare. Yeah, so we always say this, but I think the first step is to try and collaborate, right? Talk to your landlord. It's in your landlord's best interest that that place doesn't get torn to shreds, right? And so they might work with you and say, look, your lease is up in 6 months, pay for the next couple of months, I'll get people in there looking at the space and hopefully we can get somebody to take over the lease for you. So that's probably where I would start.
Yeah, legally speaking, this wouldn't be the first time that a lease has been broken for a number of reasons, and there's things to protect the tenants when that happens. So if you have to break a lease for whatever reason, the landlord has a duty to mitigate, is what they call it. They have a duty to advertise the place and get it rented up, and if they find somebody, you're only responsible for the period of time where they had no rent. They can't say, well, you were going to be vicariously liable for all future rents that aren't paid, which is just silly.
Yeah.
And I mean, there might be other reasons why you could get out. If the arguments have escalated to violence and you need to protect yourself, don't stay in a bad circumstance.
Good advice there. Yeah. Our friends,
just for a lease.
yeah. Our friends from the Advocates, thank you so much for coming in today and offering your perspective.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and don't forget, you can submit your legal questions to us on social media. You can find us on any platform at Studio 13 on Fox.
And at